Guys, hello! Hello guys, what's up? Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Look, hindi kita naririnig.
Nakamute si Sharlene.
Sorry, nakamute pala ako. Silent
Buti
treatment.
na lang sinabi ko. Kung hindi, manghuhula ako ng sasabihin
Ano
mo.
nga to? Ano yun?
Hi everyone!
Yes! Welcome to Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale. We are your hosts for tonight. I'm
Yes,
Sharlene.
I am Doxy, guys.
Hello?
And ito na ang exciting part talaga. Ang
Yes!
playoff ng Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale!
Yes, and alam ko lahat naghihintay na dito. Lahat nagtatanong kailan ba magla-live, pero eto na guys, live na po kami.
Yes.
On Facebook, sa page Tito Cod M, sa mga pages namin ni Doxy. Saan pa tayo live, Doxy?
Sa YT.
Yes!
Yes. Yan.
And dito sa Blue App, sa TikTok. Hello everyone. So,
What's
sobrang
up, guys?
ma-appreciate po namin if you will share the
Like
stream,
and share the stream, guys.
repost the
Let's
live.
go.
Ayan, maraming salamat po.
Talagang, guys, kamusta kayo? Kamusta kaya ang mga players natin? Handa na ba sila ngayon?
Kaya nga,
Handa
ready
ba?
na ba?
Kasi, guys, ang kukuhanin per game natin, per round natin is top 4.
Yes, pero
Para sa finals bukas,
yes,
diba?
yes, tama yan, Doxy. Pero bago mo pa ma-reveal yung mga exciting part, tawagin na natin yung mga casters natin for tonight.
Yes.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, depending on your time zone.
Grabe naman
we are
yan.
gonna be your shoutcaster
Wow.
for this tournament. I am
Grabe nga
Gamagori,
yun.
together with me.
Hey kids, it's JD, the caster dad.
And there you go. We, Sharlene, Doxy, and JD, the caster dad or dad, will be giving you the story, the narrative of these community gladiators Fortitude Royale. Isn't that right, Dad?
That is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, COD MBR is so back. Miss
Yes.
nyo to. Alam ko na miss nyo ang pagpaparamdam ni Tito COD and the BR community scene, and I'm sure with the amount of support that we got from all the clans that we've had here in the Philippines and across other countries here in Garena, it is a testament to the fact that we are extremely hungry and excited for the beer community to be back on the scene, see it in action, and of course, get some good things on our way. So, eto na yun, the Community Gladiators Fortitude Real is here for you. And syempre, hindi naman po tayo magwawala dito. We have, of course, our rules of the game. Ayan.
Yes, of course.
There you have it for our in-game rules, ladies and gents. Of course, bawal ang mga Smurf accounts. Trash talking, taunting, spamming of lootbacks, execution is also prohibited. Bawal din ang gumagamit ng emulator and pwede namang gamitin lahat ng class, pwede rin gamitin lahat ng weapon, pero bawal ulit ang ating jackal. And Dad, for the rest,
And of course, speaking of which, syempre, rage quitting, bawal na bawal po yan. One player can only be registered in one team only. Syempre, any fraudulent behavior caught shall be subject to disqualification. And of course, teaming with other teams is strictly prohibited, especially kung pareho kayo ng squads or ng clans basically. Use of cheats and hacks, bawal din po. And of course, please, it is not permitted to humiliate or say anything untoward towards our admins or show disrespect or spam messages to any of the admins. Sabi ko nga, in short, be good, play nice.
Tama.
very good.
Gusto ko din
Dad.
isabuhay yung be good and play nice. Di ba, Doxy?
Tama. I agree. Hindi lang ngayong CG, kundi every single day. Every single time na maglalaro tayo ng CODM. Actually, hindi lang habang naglalaro tayo ng CODM sa ating buhay.
Tama. Grabe, may powers of wisdom pa si
Grabe.
Doxy. Now we move on. Ano nga ba ang map natin for playoffs? Ano nga ba?
Alam mo,
And-
nakaka-excite. Kasi,
Nakaka-excite, yes.
yes, di ba? Di ba, Gamagori? Go, explain mo na yan.
Bakit ka
There you
excited,
go.
Gama?
There you go. For the excitement here is not really because of the varieties of the map, but it's more of the isolated and kung gaano kabatak at kakabisado na ng ating mga teams and players to. Isolated is now part of the back of their head. They know every corner. They know every high ground. Lahat ng pwede mong taguan. Alam na alam na yan ng ating mga teams and players. Is that right, Dad?
That is definitely correct, no? Of course, kabisado na natin yan. It's our
Mhm.
favorite map here in Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale scene. And nevertheless, no, this is actually the best way to measure kung ano pa yung kakayahan definitely ng isang squad. Kung hindi ka batak dito sa isolated, medyo ibang usapan na yan.
Grabe naman, parang nasaktan ako doon ng straight yung hindi ka batak na isolated. Ibang usapan na yan. Parang, shucks, parang ako yun.
Pero sa tingin ko ha, walang hindi batak sa isolated.
Mhm.
Kaya
Yes.
nga, tama ka dyan, Dokuzi. Ako kasi, sa totoo, next time, sasali na talaga kami dito eh. Ayaw na
Kaya
namin
nga
mag-host.
Sa tingin ko, alam nyo, kaya hindi kami sumasali. Kasi pinagbibigyan namin kayo ng chance.
Oo.
Pero once na sumali kami, 2 versus 4 kayo, mag-4 kayo.
Hindi, pero guys, all jokes aside, we are so excited. Kayo ba? Excited na kayo? Sinong teams ba yung mga sinusuportahan nyo? Please, i-drop nyo yan sa comment section and isa-shoutout namin yung mga teams na talagang sinusuportahan nyo. Sino-sino ba yan? Or mga players ba yan? So go guys. Shoutout tayo ngayon.
Yes. Shoutout nyo. I-cheer nyo naman yung mga teams na kasama na sinusuportahan nyo, guys.
Pero
And like and share the stream.
Yes. Like and share the stream. Gama, Dad, nakita nyo na ba yung bagong update ni Tito Codem?
Yun na nga. And definitely, yes. And honestly, yun ang magbibigay ng variety. Yun ang magbibigay ng spice on how our players, how our teams will do that game. And of course, introducing, that's gonna be the wild card system of Call of Duty Mobile. Isang mga bagong mga cards na pwede makuha, ma-loot ng ating mga teams and players to maybe add an advantage. Depende sa playstyle at depende sa kanilang class. Di ba, Dad?
That is correct though. With the introduction of the wildcards, it's kind of a whole different story right now. Kasi with the elements of the wildcards, it actually allows you to increase the level of skills that you have, especially kung medyo you're on the medic class and then you have the medical kit. Hindi ka lang healing galing eh. Healing ang galing-galing.
Ay, ang galing naman.
Kasi ng hit level mo. But of course, for some na medyo on the scout, they may use the Hawk's Eye that will allow them also to have better visibility of their opponents. Meron pa bang ibang actually wildcards in the future? And of course, the question there is, will they find this on the map and how are they going to utilize it? So medyo that extra push is gonna be the question. Pero syempre, hindi lang po shout out at tawag dito, bragging rights. Meron po tayo for the Community Gladiators Fortune Royale, of course. We are going to give away lots and lots of good prizes for you guys this evening. So let's show our prize pool for tonight. Syempre, starting off with our first place, they will go home with 2,000 pesos. Second place will take a $1,000. Third place, 500 USD. Fourth is 300. Fifth place is 200 USD. So, Gama, wag na tayo pag-convertin yan. Bigay na natin sa kanila yung Philippine version.
Yon, thank you very much. So, converted into peso, that is a whopping 115,000 pesos for the first place. Second place naman sa pre, hindi ka rin lugi, 57,500 pesos. Third place with a crispy 28,750 peso. Fourth place naman with 17,500 pesos. And even the fifth place with a juicy 11,250 peso for this tournament. So yes, our players, our teams are not just competing for bragging rights, for shout out, for fame. That's gonna be really the extra one. And prize pool here, the monetary that we'll be getting our teams and players is what really matters. Yun ang magpapainit lalo. Yun ang magpapasigla sa ating mga players. Anong gagamitin nilang wildcard? Gusto nilang mag-Hawkeye? Gusto nilang mag-medical? Then go. Diba? Kasi they need to use any advantage, and especially these playoffs for Community Gladiators Fortitude Royale will be placement only. One round, one bracket, one chance for you to secure your spot for tomorrow's grand final.
Top 4 to, no? So, kailangan talaga isipin mo kung anong gagawin mo. Magiging aggressive ka ba? Kung ikaw yung nandito, Doxy, magiging aggressive ka ba sa game?
Oo.
Ba't parang hindi yan yung pag-usapan natin kanina?
Kaya nga hindi rin ako sumali. Kasi baka group stage pa lang, out na ako.
Oo, kung qualifiers pa lang laglag na tayo. Pero guys, the long wait is over.
Yes!
Malapit na magsimula ang bracket A. So, Gamma and Dad, take it away.
Take it away.
Thank you very much, ladies. Doc Z, Sharlene, maraming salamat. So, eto na. First, bracket natin. So, by the way, for this entire evening, so we're gonna be staying here to the wee hours hanggang bracket F po tayo.
Yes.
Bracket F. So, basically, we have all of that brackets for tonight, which means maraming squads ang makikita natin na magbabattle it out for this evening. Now,
tama kayo.
Doc Z and Sharlene has mentioned, 1 round lang po tayo dito, which actually puts this entire matchup in a whole different level. So,
Tama
sabihin
kayo.
na, no, either you camp or you play aggressive. Pero in this situation, what would be your best move?
All right,
I think my best move would be
And it depends kung gaano ba ka-solid
Sayang
ang
di kami
chemistry
magkausap
and
ni
gaano
Doxy.
ka-confident kayo as a team. Because playing on a comp level, mag-stay lang kayo,
Nakalive ba to
try
si
to
Doc?
survive
Parang
is
hindi ko siya
really
nakikita.
not a bad idea at all. Yun naman talaga yung para umabot ka sa placement ng top 1, top 2, top 3, or top 4. Pero, if you are confident, bawasan mo na yung competition. Bawasan mo na yung mga players na possible umabot pa sa dulo ng placement. So either go
grabe,
aggressive,
sabotahe to
annihilate,
si,
eliminate the teams and players, and secure that sweet spot
Sabotahe.
on the placement. And speaking of sweet spot, we are now starting our bracket A, round number 1. Again, isang round lang kada bracket, isang chance lang for our teams and players. And this is again, Community Gladiator Fortitude Royale, bracket A. And here we go!
Na-miss ko yung here we go, kapatid. Na-miss ko yun. And yes, indeed, we are set first bracket for this round. One
Ayoko
game
sumali
only
sa
for all of
ganyan,
these
be.
squads.
Masyado kaming
Now, of
magaling
course,
para
just
dyan.
for lineup, we have 22 squads. Yep, 20 squads battling it out for this evening.
Tingnan mo,
Ayan, so
kain-kain lang
medyo
ako
for
dito,
this
diba?
round number 1, I think we're gonna be leaning towards the northern side of the map as based on our flight plan. So sabi mo nga, no, best case scenario for all of these squads is be aggressive with the first half. Once the zone starts clearing in, medyo you can just put yourself in a slower position, secure your loots. If you can find those wild cards, trade and use them, and then head straight to the
Don't
mid
stream sniping, guys, okay?
Your opponents to come in.
I definitely agree. And tingnan mo tong flight path na to, no? It's very limited. Nasa snowy area, pero makikita naman natin ang ating mga teams and players still dropping off sa medyo malayo, like Dock, Downtown, Sakura. Pero what I'm really excited here is how our teams, our
Titignan ko nga
players
yung live
are
ni
gonna
Tito
be
Code,
maximizing the wildcard system that is introduced on this tournament. Diba? Bago mag-tournament, nagkaroon ng wildcard. So nakita natin na nag-practice ang mga teams and players. Siyempre, dapat talaga nila pag-practicean. And first blood on the hands of SRP Phoenix, eliminating our elite Nanashio. Oh, look at this. Your team.
Grabe,
number
ang
2
init
playing
agad.
on a trio scenario.
What
Si
a
Switch,
freak.
Si Renz, and si Sky. Tatlo
First
lang
blood
sila naglalaro
agad.
dito. They still have an opportunity. They still have a chance to survive and of course reach the bitter end of our round 1 of bracket A.
That is for sure. No? Whether you're on a trio mode or duo lang kayo or you have a full squad stack for tonight, syempre, you have an even chance. It's really just a matter of how you play this game perfectly, especially when it comes to this situation. So far, no, for Elite, good start here for this squad, no, squad letter J natin. Maganda naman naging start nila because already had some good engagement ready for these squads. But of course, as we said, no, medyo if this is the situation for any of these squads, it's really best for them to just secure themselves first. Try not to engage unless required. Pero pag ano na lang talaga, pag ipipipit na sa kanila lang. Kasi again, it's placement points. Top 4 lang to. Out of 20, you will have to definitely fight off a lot of people to secure your slot. And speaking of which, mukhang medyo magpaparamdam ng elite dito against one squad here at the side. Let's see if this one connects. Maybe not just yet. Medyo makalma muna tayo dito, Gama, no?
Yes. And talagang ramdam mo.
Anong sana bigyan naman ng invitation yung dating champ? Big community gladiators nga to. Alam mo yung community? Walang special treatment kahit ikaw ang
we
champion.
still have a full pack.
Hanggang ngayon ba,
75
hindi
players
pa
and
din
20
kayo
teams pa rin.
nakaka-move
Wala
on na
pang
hindi
nawa-wipe
kasama
out.
yung Euro?
Nagiging madiskarte sila on how they want to engage. But Xenon will break the silence, eliminating our RWE Uno from that encounter, popping
Yan, para
up the
mas
medic.
makita nyo.
Makikipagbalagbagan na nga sila dito. Carl already trying to maximize the high ground na meron. Si Egoista naman madadali din. But let's see how they will be able to go for that engagement. Nag-aampahan lang sila dito, Dad. The Team BE, Team RWE is waiting for their opportunity. Pero si Xenon yung aggressive dito, pushing forward. Carl is also maximizing some damage output there, dealing a lot of damage but not enough to take any kills just yet. Pero si Xenon naman ang makakapitas kay Saltic from the Team RWE with a juicy headshot.
Rough World Esports not in a good situation right now against B Saint, no? So medyo habulan ng konti dito. Yoshi trying to just stay away here. End goal is basically for them to just survive this one. Pero si Carl, medyo out.
Ganda nung
Nabanatan.
defender niya doon.
For the finish, courtesy there of Yoshi. And of course, medyo Yoshi hahabol naman kay Ambush. Medyo siya ang i-ambush pag nagkataon, pero definitely will not engage just yet. Perhaps the goal for Yoshi here is to get the rest of the squad back up and running. At least for now, no? Medyo okay lang eh. Bawas naman sila. Hindi na sila masyado aggressive. Get the team back together before you go on with the rest of the game. So that's really, you can see definitely that that mindset of the placement eh. Rather than just go in for the attack all the way, okay lang eh. At least hindi ka delikado. Balikan mo muna yung squad.
Ako, guys, may
It's a higher chance
ako.
for you if you have a 4-man stack versus
GDC
playing with
kasama
2 members
mamaya
only
pa,
at
mamayang
the
gabi
very
pa.
end.
I definitely
Ay,
agree.
kanino
And
kayo
again,
manood,
the game here is
Share nyo
to
lang yung
secure
live.
placing and not just
Sobrang
kill.
appreciate
So, sa
namin.
tingin mo, I agree with that.
Thank
sa
you,
tingin mo,
thank you.
alanganin, back off na muna. Go for the dog tags. But, going into the side, Yume, knocking down our Malak Royal. Si Zach madadali din ni Casio Royal on that engagement sa ilalim ng plataforma.
Kala ko sa
Nagbabalagbagan
ilalim ng
players. Si
puting
Yume naman
ilaw
playing
sa
up
dilaw
with
na
that
buwan.
blue plate, trying to go for some engagement. Pero si Yan able to get that kill against King
Pero
of
si Yan
HRA. Nagkakabawasan. Mukhang mayroon pang isang team na nasa paligid.
Shucks,
But they won't
nakakamiss
be
mag-shoutcast.
engaging just yet. Lalayo muna sila dito. Maiiwan ng HRA at ang Royal on this encounter. But si Sting naman getting that first drop and ang ating mga HRA going in for the rescue para maitayo pa ang the rest of the members of their squad.
Hashira Homera. Actually, na-miss ko tong squad na to. This was like an OG squad that I've
It
had
is.
the opportunity to cast way back in the day. So medyo nagpaparamdam na sila ulit. For Royal Esports GTX, they did not have the high ground advantage, but at least they were really making sure that they were engaging with Hashira Homera, putting the pressure on them. So they have to back out already with their situation. So at least for Royal Esports, okay pa sila. They still have the opportunity to at
8
least
PM pa daw, 4K.
engage on a different situation. But for
Dami
now,
pa
focus
tao sa
ang Hashira
mapa.
muna to recuperate from that engagement, put themselves back in the mix, and at least,
Dami
secure
pa
their
tao.
slots later during the game. As we check the map here, medyo kalat-kalat pa ang ating mga squads here. So this is how you can see that if it's not about placement points, they will do their best to spread themselves as far as the map as possible, put themselves in a spot that they can loot as much as they can, secure
Pwede
really
ba ako
their slots,
kumain?
find those wildcards if they can, and of course, make sure that they have all the advantage once the zone shrinks to a significant level na kailangan na talaga nilang mag-engage.
I agree with that. Batak-batak sila dito. Watak-watak sila dyan. Making sure that they survive and avoid any engagement so far. Pero, ang ating mga team number 9, our team Silak, merong nasa paligid nila. Maybe going in for some engagement, pero not really. Prioritizing some loot, prioritizing some upgrades, and
Medyo
prioritizing
okay naman, guys.
survivability of their team. And we can see
Naglalag
naman
lang
sa
ng very, very
round
light.
A, ang unang round.
Nakakotse sila, pero nakatayo.
Ang mga players, nakakita tayo ng aksyon, pitas-pitas here and there, but not so much
Guys,
of
kung
a
gusto nyo
full
ng magandang feed,
back-to-back
at
action.
sa
Again,
na blue up.
this is the
Blue up ni
variety
Tito Codem.
that this tournament can offer. So, umpisa, play safe.
Kung gusto
Pero
nyo
I
makita yung
assure
mukha
you,
ko, dito kayo manood!
pagdating ng final zone at marami pang teams ang buhay, doon magkakasubukan.
That is true, no? Actually, that's a big thing that you have to consider. Would you want to have a lot of teams pa during almost the final zone? Because that's gonna make your basically situation absolutely difficult. So at least if you can find your opponents already, if you have the advantage,
team
take
to?
them out if you
Silak?
can. Parang medyo itong ginagawa ng Silak, medyo pumipitas ng konti, pero not
Naku, ang dami sa labas ng
fully
zone!
just yet. So medyo paramdam-paramdam lang. At least probably just pushing some suppression fire for them and not really fully trying to take out their opponents. Pero that's fine. Now, ito medyo as the zone closes in, as you can see, most of them are still outside the zone except for a few members from Leventis Valor, I guess. So, konti pa lang sila. The rest, nasa labas pa rin. Yun yung medyo nagiging technique pag ganitong sitwasyon that you are on placement points. You're trying to gatekeep, basically, some of the squads that also has the same idea of making sure that they have almost playing at the edge of the zone. And then when they see each other, bawas-bawas na sila, then they can engage already if they have the right tools that they have for their arsenal, and then that's when you definitely see a lot of the action here tonight. And speaking of action, ito balik tayo sa B-Saints here again. Still, with Rufford Esports, hindi pa rin sila nagbibitawan dito. Dalawa pa rin sila magkasama. Pero medyo this time, magkalayo. Medyo not really fully engaging close in, but with that launcher do the job. Ayaw pang ipitik. Ayaw pang kalabitin.
Binibitin pa tayo. Parang lang, check lang niya dad, no? Checking anong sitwasyon. Uy, look at this. Your team number 4, your AE Colossus main, chilling up.
Playing safe talaga ngayon, guys.
That's a good, let's say, that's
this
a not bad idea at
kasi
all.
Kasi top 4 lang yung kukunin.
Maganda yung pwesto nila dito. It's just that kung sama-sama sila dyan at natutuan ng launcher, medyo alanganin. Pero good thing na nasa baba yung isang player nito. I think that's Fudge securing the lower ground. And kung ano naman ang diskarte ng ating mga team number 16, your Smooth Hunters are playing it safe just outside of the zone with a medic class. Sa tingin ko meron sila dito yung mga wild card na kailangan nila, dad, no? For ensuring that medic class and that health will always be popping off.
For sure. So ito yung medyo with the advantage of the wild cards. You can actually play even more aggressive on the outside of the zone. Kung kaya,
guys,
why not? Ayun, medyo nakita na natin
top 4
from our
lang,
kill feed. Nagpapatok na ng launcher ang B-Saints again, Rufford Esports. But of course, medyo mamaya babalikan natin ma-action na yan as we of course check here for this squad. This is of course squad letter L. Imol here, syempre, medyo mukhang i-engage naman nila ang squad letter F, and that is somebody else. Pero meanwhile, balik tayo dito sa ating B-Saints here. Nagpaparamdam ng konti. Imol back here in the mix. Medyo nagpaparamdam na ang iba, bumabagsak na. This is now where the engagement will start. Those at the edge of the zone will start finding each other, and now they will have no choice but to engage. So let's see how this one works out.
Imol of AML or your team number 12, your Ahimsa Maharlika, mag-isa na lang siya. Kailangan niya maging madiskarte, getting the dog tags. But here we go, Delta Louie eliminating our BE Xenon with that PPSH. Yan ang SMG na napakadaming balat, napakakatay. Si Louie naman mapatali din. Si Carl ng BE with a Reiki 117. Nako, napipitas na ang mga players ng BE with ambush as the last player standing for their team. So tingnan natin kung kaya ba ni ambush na magpakita ng ambush gameplay against the remaining players. Pero mukhang dumidiskarte lang muna dito ng dog tag, trying to have them stand for the next revive flight, at meron pa silang opportunity na mag-survive until the video.
Wala pa guys, wala pa 4K guys. Nagtatago pa lang yung mga yan kasi finals bukas.
Waiting for their chance.
Top 4 to, top 4!
Meron silang mga players on the left side. Tingnan natin kung magkakaroon ng action. Then fighting outside of the zone, even though
if gusto nyo makita yung mga brackets, nakapost yun sa page dito ko.
I think they are still well confident with that medic class and probably some wild cards on their players, on their team, to ensure an even higher survivability outside of the zone.
Tournament bracket
minsan patapangan lang talaga to, no? Honestly, minsan patapangan lang talaga. If you have at least a yun nga, the medic class or a nice vehicle that you could use to travel alongside, by all means. Kumbaga kasi some of these squads, the idea here is fine. Let them engage among themselves. We'll stay here outside the zone where probably not many of you are in here. And then by the time that it's all done, we can come back in. You're basically worn out. You don't have much of an equipment with you. That's when we go in for the kill and the execution. Speaking of which, as of this moment, with the blue zone that small, 18 squads still remain. This has been the technique that we're seeing. So yun talaga, tambay sa labas. Pag nagkaipitan, saka tayo pipitas.
Yes.
Ano to? T2?
Definitely agree
Ayun o.
that is the gameplay that we
What
are
the freak,
seeing
man?
from the players. Walang nagiging agresibo. No, walang sugod ng sugod. They're just waiting for their chances. Even though alam na nila kung saan yung opposing team, hindi pa nila susugurin. They are all playing a deadly game of patience. Kung sino ang may pasensya, siya ang magwawagi. Pero at the same time, huwag natin kakalimutan that this is a shooter game. So kung sinong mas may tutok, siya ang lamang.
Definitely,
Tama.
no. Yung tutok na yun actually
Sa
magkakasubukan.
dulo yun
Here's
eh.
the problem with some of these
Magkakaalaman
squads
sa
doing
dulo
this
yun.
technique. They're not engaging. They're not utilizing their weapons. So minsan, for some of them, kumbaga parang kung wala ka pa masyadong warm-up,
Walang
hindi ka
painit.
ganun, yung mindset mo
Tama.
is to relax.
Walang
If your
painit
mind is
gano.
too relaxed that you're not seeing any opponents and then suddenly you start finding one, medyo may konting
May
panic.
tendency
That
siya,
panic,
oo.
when it sets in and you're not able to respond correctly, that's gonna put you in a very negative
Tama.
situation. So,
Tama.
honestly, for some of these squads, my best technique talaga, especially pag ako, nasa-solo gameplay
Kahit
ako pag
paano.
ganitong sitwasyon, go inside the zone, wait for them to come, get your long-range weapons, hit them as far as you can, go for those tundras if you have them
Tama.
at hand, and then shoot them while they're getting
Ako
damage
din.
from the
Ako
zone.
din. Ako
It's
din.
basically your win-win situation. You have the the
Pero
good advantage of
mga batak
the
to eh. Alam
zone
naman
inside
nila
the
yung
zone,
ginagawa
while at
nila.
the same time your opponents are losing health already. Tapos pinipitas mo na lang sila isa-isa.
I agree. Speaking of pagpitas, Medic and
Ayan
Defender
na,
now coming
Shax.
into the play. It's gonna be AXB.
Oh my gosh!
That SMRS, Miss J will be taken out by Baldo. Si Chan naman madadali si
Oh
Podge
my
with a
gosh,
grenade.
man!
Nagkakaroon
Ito
na
na!
ng action, nagkakapitasan na between our players.
my
Spamming a
goodness.
little bit with a TPS.
Oh my
Simula
gosh!
na ang back-to-back action. The
GG!
zone is closing in. We can see the kill feed popping
Oh
out.
my
Different players
gosh!
engaging, and Sana will be taken out by Ryu Cha of the Team AXP. That's gonna be 3 kills now for the Team AXP. Dropping in some airborne here. Tingnan natin kung gagamitin pa nila dito or that's gonna be coming from the
naka-wildcard
opposing
pa!
player. But now they manage to win those engagement, win those gunfights, and now trying to get inside of the
GG
zone.
talaga.
And what I love about JD mentioned or Dad mentioned is yung relaxed mindset. Kung masyado ka nga naman laid off at nagre-relax lang, baka naman mabigla ka pag nagkaroon ng engagement. And Team Alpha, being Alpha here, roaming around the
Oh
map,
my
that's
gosh!
gonna be some cluster into the play. AXP do
Ang dami
have the
na,
high
nasabog
ground,
na.
waiting for their chance of firing some gunshots. Ooh, that's gonna be a sniper. Tatama kaya ang sniper. Aspect naman, moving forward as well. Pero tamang silip lang with that sniper. Smokes into the play. Our zone, our game is about to get spicy. May nadadali na nga sa labas ng zone. And si Nia naman madadali si Kyle with that SMRS. Tuloy ang baradagulan, tuloy ang aksyon, waiting for their perfect opportunity.
Definitely, that perfect opportunity can come in anytime soon. Now, this is the challenge now for any of these squads. What advantage do you have with your position? Do you have the high ground advantage? Do you have basically the best weapons or at least long-range weapons that you can use regarding these situations? In this case, you can definitely see a lot of them sporting those launchers, using them
Shucks.
basically as a pseudo-sniper that can one-shot your opponents here, pero medyo yung iba, still utilizing their perfect loadouts, particularly yung mga naka-sniper
Grabe,
rifles
mga
talaga. So that's still a good
naka-medic
thing.
na yun, man.
Pero yung iba medyo nagbabayad na ng kanilang pagtambay sa labas. Yun nga, kahit yun nakita natin marami nang medyo naiwan. But for now, this is the situation that we have here. Alpha trying to really position themselves here. Meanwhile, Elite fighting them from a high ground advantage, fighting away from a perfect distance right now. Can they connect? Trying to just push this one, pero mukhang hindi pa kaya ni Nashi and their team. Pero medyo, this is a weird situation for Elite here. Front and back, pareho silang meron. So the question is, who do
Hirap
you
yan,
engage
sandwich.
first?
Oo.
Oh my goodness me, that is the question. And can you imagine final zone closing in with 14 teams? That's a lot of action. Talagang back-to-back dito. Magkakaipitan lamangan ng pwesto at a tutok. Smoke bomber comes into the play. A little bit of plating into the action. Your Team Elite have a little bit of a high ground secure. Delta Louie naman madadali si Bato of the BVE. Tumututok naman with that AK-117 si Islam. Mababawasan but with that misdirection movement speed, giving a little bit of advantage. advantage. Pero look at that aim. That's a good aim. Pero meron pa ibang team. That's gonna be your team AXP doing some damage as well against the opposing player. Nagkakasawsawan na, nagkakasabayan na,
Ayan na.
Ito na nga, SMRS as a Zudo Sniper.
Oh my
Nanashi
gosh!
will back that one. JD Boy will be taken out from the
Oh my
team
gosh, ang
PD.
dami na!
Tuloy-tuloy na ang aksyon from our kill feed, ladies and gentlemen. This is the
Sila!
moment we are waiting
Parang
for.
mga langgam!
Our round number 1 bracket A about to get that conclusion. The question is, who will rise to the top?
Oh,
Parang
well,
mga
indeed.
langgam,
Pero so far, sabi nga natin, medyo, ano na ba, launcher meta na ba tayo ngayon? Medyo this is an absolutely easy situation for Elite. Really making sure that their presence are being felt. Pero same thing with AXP here, trying to go for the push. Low ground advantage, they have the zone at the back, pero medyo iniiwanan mo nila. This time, Alpha, welcoming everyone with open arms. Sniper,
Oh my gosh.
connecting perfectly right there, but the clusters and those bombs really doing their jobs right now. So medyo eto na. Dito na lalabas yung
Parang
galing ng
meta
iba sa
ngayon
ating
yung
mga teams.
medic,
Can they
igniter,
handle the
defender,
situation
ang
here?
daming
Pero medyo
nakaganyan,
nakakabaton
tsaka
pa ata
cluster
ng Molotov
grenade.
dito.
Ano yung
Meanwhile, Sansa
spotter?
trying to shut down one right there. As you can see, 8 squads remaining. And look at that zone. It is
Oh
so
my
small.
goodness.
They're just utilizing
Parang
their smokes to
mga
make sure that
langgam.
they will not be seen by any of these squads. The question is, who will survive and who will be our top 4?
There you go. Top 4 will be the only team given a chance to proceed sa
Guys,
grand
walang
finals.
kill
And
points
right now,
to.
7 teams na
Walang
lang ang natitira. So right
pointing
now,
system.
aware
Top
na mga
4
teams
lang
and players
talaga.
that they need to survive. Secure at least top 4, top 3, top
Shucks,
2,
ito
even top 1.
nakakaano siya,
Pero
nakakampiyon
grenades
yung Alpha.
coming in. There's a lot of high ground mobility. Meron din mga maliliit na bahay na ginagawang bakuran ng ating mga players. For the team LV naman, Leventis Valor, si Paul and Pirico na lang ang natitira for them. But look at them. They have a
Oh my gosh,
whopping 13
punong pa yung
kills
isa.
for your team number 1, Leventis Valor, being aggressive a little bit, but Sasna and
Oh my
Pia
gosh,
naman
ang dami
madadali
pa!
ni Baldo
What the
with
freak,
that
man?
MRS. Look at that beautiful
Down to the
zone
last 5
shrinking in, giving us the action from these players.
Oh
Mapipilitan
my
na silang
goodness.
pumalag and top 4 teams na lang ang natitira. Now it's just a matter of who will survive even better, maybe for that fame and bragging rights.
Ito na, Alpha,
Oh
trying
my
to survive this one. The push
gosh!
is coming in hot already against Squad Letter S and Hashira Homura on the
Dami
other
na
side as
igniter!
well.
Oh
They're
my
just
gosh,
trying to
down
go
siya.
in, pero mukhang hindi nila kakayanin to. Now we're down to our final 3. Delta has a good
Yun.
situation here, but
Galing.
this is just not looking good.
Sino
Homura
kaya mag-number
getting
1?
pummeled right there by the last 2 members of Delta. 4B2.
Oh my goodness me. We have a winner. Team number 3, your team, Hashira Humura, will be the last team standing. Will be the last player standing para sa ating bracket A. Now again, top 4 lang ang kukunin. Top 4 lang ang ating ipuproceed for
Oo
the
nga.
grand finals. And mukhang na-excite din ng sobra si Dad on this engagement. So with that said, tinan natin, silipin natin mamaya-maya kung sino ba yung mga top 4. Welcome back, Dad! Hello, I missed you. There you go. So again, Humura will be able to get that win. And this is the standing placing as of the moment, Dad.
So congratulations,
Sayang
syempre,
sila.
Hashira Homura securing first place. Delta with second. Alpha with third. And of course, Leventis
Grabe,
Valor
tamang
securing
tamang
our
camp yung
fourth
Alpha, oh.
place. Ayan. So good setup right there for these 4 squads. But definitely, as you can see, no, for Delta, that aggression really worked really well for them.
Yeah.
They were still able to manage themselves to at least top 2, no? Although medyo nagkaipitan lang sila sa number dahil naging 4v2 situation against Hashira Homura. But for Hashira, played it really smart, played it really well. So they're definitely okay na silang in their top 4. So secured na silang 4 for bracket A. So syempre for now, medyo tignan naman natin ang opinion ni Sharlene and Doc Z regarding our bracket A. So let's start off with Doc muna. Doc, kumusta?
Ay! Grabe. Ako talaga una. Huy!
Tinawag ka ni
Grabe.
Dad, so wala kang magagawa. Ikaw
Wala
ang
akong
una.
magagawa. Wala akong magagawa. Teka, pwedeng ikaw muna, Shar, kasi may nagkaroon akong technical difficulties
Okay,
dito.
okay. So, grabe, nagulat ako. Saka nakita ko rin yung standing. Sabi ko, shucks, yung Alpha. Hindi din ako gumalaw. Oh, di ba? Yung Alpha, hindi sila gano'n nag-engage, pero nakapasok sila sa top 3. So, parang sabi ko talagang, parang nasa sa inyo din yan kung talagang magiging agresibo kayo if you're going to play it safe. Kung talagang kabisadong-kabisado nyo yung team nyo na kaya nyo kahit malagas yung ibang players ay kaya nung iba na makaabot hanggang dulo. So, parang sa akin, depende din talaga sa tiwala mo sa teammates mo eh. And,
Yes.
grabe, biglang na ako, para silang mga langgam kanina nung pasara na yung
Alam mo, sabi ko nga rin sa habang ina-analyze ko ang game, wow!
Wow!
Analyzer! Pero, sa tingin ko, napaka-importante ng positioning and kung ano yung hawak mong barel. Kasi kanina, sabi ko, bakit lahat sila nasa corner? Nasa corner ng zone. Walang nasa gitna.
Oo.
Siguro same sila lahat ng thinking na once na nasa corner sila, kumbaga, hindi ko na ma-explain. Pero ang masasabi ko lang, ang importante talaga ang positioning. Kasi yun yung magsasabi kung
Kung
mapapasok ka ba sa top 4.
Kung sa-success ka.
Actually, kung sa-success ka, success ka.
Very
congratulations.
Good. Congratulations,
Pero
pasok
alam
ka
mo,
sa finals.
Kanina sinasabi ko, early game, na I think makakapasok ang Delta. Which, nakapasok nga talaga sila.
Bakit mo
Ang
nasabing
galing.
makakapasok sila?
Kasi umpisa pa lang ang ganda na ng positioning nila.
So parang thinking
Yes.
ahead sila sa mga
Yes.
situation. Ako
Yes.
naman, ang medyo na gulat ako, kasi syempre, CODM just updated, di ba? Like, major update.
Tama.
So, parang ako, tinitignan ko kung ano yung mga class na ginagamit nila. And mostly, nakikita ko, may naka-defender, may naka-igniter, pero grabe talaga ang medic class. Medic class is parang lagi siyang gamit na gamit sa mga tournaments.
Oo nga, no?
Ayun. Yun lang ang aking masasabi.
Tsaka yung SMRS. Ang dami gumagamit ang SMRS. Ang pagkakabanggit ko patuloy kanina, MRSS.
Ang galing!
Ang galing, di ba?
Yes, kayo naman, kayo ba guys, sino yung mga susunod na, pwede bang ipakita lang muna natin ulit kung sino yung top 4 teams natin for Bracket A? Para lang din, sa mga kakapasok pa lang ay aware sila.
And of course, and back here, this is Bracket A natin, top 4 again. It's Hashira Homura, Delta taking second, Alpha is our third place, and of course, Levendes Valor taking fourth place. So these 4, again, officially secured na sila sa ating finals, pero Bracket A pa lang to. Hanggang Bracket F po tayo ngayong gabi.
Kaya nga, pero yan, congratulations to our top 4 teams.
Yes,
Congratulations.
kasado na
guys.
kayo bukas sa ating finals.
Yes,
Wow!
and tomorrow rin po yung finals natin, March 25, 7 p.m.
So, see you. See you guys, ha. I-ano nyo na yan. I-alarm nyo na sa phone nyo.
Yan. Now, in a few minutes lang ay magsa-start na rin ang Bracket B. Sino nga ba yung mga dapat natin abangan sa Bracket B na teams?
Ayun. So, for our Bracket B, Dad. Now, again, just to enlighten yung mga kakapasok lang, for our brackets, isang round lang po kada bracket. And these teams, these players are playing for placing only. Walang kill points, only the top 1 to top 4 will secure their spot for the grand finals. And honestly, the mindset here is to filter the best of the best. Yung kayang mag-survive and at the same time, kayang dumali. Kasi, iisipin kasi ng mga tao natin dyan, Dad, right, is going in and magiging camping lang yung mga players, ganito lang yung mangyayari. But no, if you widen it up, ang mangyayari on the final zone, marami pang matitira and dun magkakasabukan. So, given the pressure of a lot of teams still standing, yun ang ating magiging denominator. Sino nga ba ang deserve for the grand final? And going back for our bracket B, that we have DTK Valor, Revenant Esports, Euro Artemis, High Speed, Noble Reality Kings, Unbothered Asira, Pave Invicta, MW Infinite, Bellum Sumo Neko, Royal Poseidon, Leventis Hormin, and for the rest, Dad?
And of course, we have Templar, DU Main, AXP, E-Type YG, Team Okay Fine Nevermind, Talaga sa akin to. It's Team MDT, mga dagok, Tabay Didoy, CDXX, AE Saints, ZD Jado, Poison Ivy Omni, Leap Main, and VVV Esports. So some of the household names are actually here in Bracket B. Saka may mga squads din ako again, medyo na-encounter ko in the past. For most of these squads, perhaps new names, pero definitely the same aggressive players that have been eager to be part of the BR community here in Codem, especially here for Garena talaga. So, again, going back to the point ni Gama, no? So, sinasabi nga everyone's gonna be camping. Actually, hindi nga camping yung nangyari. It's just everyone staying outside of the zone, just waiting for that opportunity to engage kung sino man yung makakasalubong nila. Yun halos yung nangyari. And then, I guess for Bracket B, we would definitely expect more of the Igniters, yung Transform Shields, and of course, Medics, plus SMRS. Mukhang yung apat na yun talaga ang key to victory natin for BR right now. But let's see if the Bracket B shows up with a different format and perhaps a different technique for all of us here ngayong gabi.
And with that said, I want to ask, right, Sharlene, Doxy, with the introduced wildcard, I'm gonna be putting you on the spot here. Class ang gagamitin nyo? And anong wildcard? Kasi hindi yung exact name, right? Anong wildcard sa tingin nyo yung magiging beneficial for your class? At inuna ni Dad si Doxy kanina, Sharlene, I'll pick you first.
Sharlene, take it away. Pwede ko ba tignan kung ano yung mga wildcard natin dito? Pero, definitely sa class, ewan ko nung nag-update, kahit tanongin niyo si Doxy, tinatry ko ulit mag-defender.
Ay, oo. Kaya nga, kahit ang lala ng smoke bomber ngayon.
Ang bilis
sobrang
ng
binaf.
smoke. Sobrang bilis ng smoke bomb ngayon. Pero, may mga nakita rin naman ako kanina, pero parang hindi lahat ng team ngayon ay may smoke bomber. Pero sure ako na lahat ng team naka-medic. Oh.
Yes.
Pero ayun, for the wild cards, alam niyo, swertihan lang din yan yung sa wild card. Pero parang okay yung medical kit. Okay talaga siya, lalo ngayon na ang nangyayari is parang nagpe-play safe and halos lahat nakatambay sa dulo ng zone. 'Di ba? Sa mga corners ng zone. So parang okay 'yun. Pero guys, if you have played na and you have updated na your game, try niyo yung BR ngayon. Sobrang ibang-iba yung klase ng gameplay dahil sa mga wildcards. So ayun.
Ako naman, kung ang pipiliin kong class, I think Shockwave. Ginagamit ba 'yon? Kasi ang mga nakikita kong class talaga kanina is Medic, Airborne, and Rewind. May nakita din ako ng Rewind. So, pero for me kasi, Shockwave pa din pipiliin ko para walang makalapit sa akin. And then, ang wildcard na sana makuha ko is yung alam niyo yung bumibilis outside the zone. Kasi lahat na kapag tournament, parang gusto nila tumambay sa zone eh. So, at least once na mayroon akong ganun, bumibilis ako kapag nasa, ako outside the zone. Diba?
Yes, medyo hindi pa lang namin talaga kabisado yung mga wildcard names, pero slowly naman siguro in a week, kaalam na namin yan kasi kaka-update lang talaga ni Tito.
Bagong-bago eh.
Bagong-bago, pero buti nakapaglaro kami ni Doc Z a few days ago. And ibang-iba talaga yung magiging dynamic ng game. Lalo kapag squad, kasi kailangan iba-iba kayo ng wildcard para masaya.
There you go. Thank you, ladies, Sharlene, Doxy, for answering that. And talagang, depende siya sa playstyle mo eh. If you're aggressive, if you're passive, if you're passive-aggressive, diba? Maraming chance, maraming opportunity to utilize every wild card and how you want to play it. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, our bracket B is on its way. So tingnan natin what kind of engagement, what kind of action. So Sharlene, Doxy, let's see ano ang magiging action for this bracket B. Dad.
Yes!
Bye!
Ayan. Again, thank you very much, Doc Z and Miss Sharlene, So, ito na. Bracket B na tayo and I'm sure medyo from the comment section, medyo may mga, excited na rin makita ang kanilang respective squads for tonight. So, yeah, definitely, when it comes to, the new update, which is, actually, I'm surprised for most of these squads that somehow, they managed really to adjust with a very short amount of time na medyo, alam na nila yung bagong meta, alam na nila yung bagong vibe, and they're able to adjust quite well already with the new class, basically yung updates natin with the BRC, particularly yung introduction of the wild cards, no? So yeah, I guess the question definitely for most of these squads is yun nga, yung as a 4-man stack,
Hindi niyo pa
yung
kabisado?
4 squad, ano yung
Kami din.
combo niyo? So you, of course, you already have your own respective classes, perhaps, pero what one equips with that? So yung medyo magiging question sa kanila.
And yung mga combination ng mga wildcards dati, right? Kung anong wildcard
Yan
ang
na!
magiging okay with
Nandito na
with
sila
the player
doon!
A and player B and how they want to make it. And with that said, Rocket B is
Ito na
now
sila.
on its way. And ladies and
Nandito
gentlemen,
na yung
again,
mga
this is
ibang
Community
sinusupport nila
Gladiators
teams. Pero
for
kanina
the
ang lalaan ng mga
Tutorial.
players sa
Bracket B,
in
one
fairness
round
talaga.
only,
Kaya
isolated
talaga
map,
gusto namin
playing for
magpa-community
placement.
gladiators.
And here
Kasi
we
gusto namin talaga
go!
makakita ng mga
Definitely,
bagong,
here we
bagong
go.
teams
Again, this
nasasali.
time we have 22
Kasi
squads
paano
backing
in-
it out
like,
for
in the
Bracket
future,
B.
hopefully,
All members of the
mabigyan tayo ng
squads
chance
here
ni Tito
medyo
Coding
present
magkaroon
at
ng
kompleto
mga
tayo. 78
green
players this time
survivors.
for
The
this
plunge
setup,
ulit.
favoring basically
Diba
the
parang ang saya
southeastern
na
side of our
nagbabalak
map,
tayo
no?
din sa
Medyo
Community
near New Vision
Gladiators.
City, pero most of these squads
Na
pushing up
official
north pa
tournament
rin.
din naman
So
ito,
again,
Codem, kahit
it's gonna be the same
community
playset
lang.
for
Pang
most of these
community
teams.
tournament,
Pero I
hindi pa
guess
siyang-
medyo
Alam
mukhang
niyo,
sanitarium
parang
is the way to go
pro
for
tour.
everybody else.
So, parang ito na
Medyo
yung chance nyo.
delicate.
Dito kayo
Kung hindi
magpatak,
man sa
may
football
prize
field.
pool. And malay
Mukhang
nyo, in
medyo
the
payapa
future,
ang squad letter M sa New Vision City.
hopefully,
Medyo ito
Tito
yung
Codem,
magiging question sa mga
in the
to.
future,
Kung
diba,
sino ang
bumalik
unang
yung mga
tatakbo. But let's
talagang
see
major
where we
tournament
find the first
natin sa
action
BI.
here
Mga
in the first
paturna ni
minutes
Garina.
of the game.
So,
Gaba.
we are so excited.
There you have it. Maraming
Ito na
mga
yung-
players ang
ito na yung
nagkasabay-sabay
team
on
na nasabak
certain spots. So I agree with the question. Papalag ba sila? Or aalis and magsisecure, but Don opening it up, knocking down one from the team
Grabe,
Euro,
bilis ni Don.
pero hindi pa natutuluyan yon, just
Ang
able to
bilis
knock
ni
it
Don.
down, and tingnan natin kung magkakaroon ng engagement from the side of Leap and Euro on their side, but so far, LV and Ivy, mukhang ang LV ang lalayo. Your team number 11, Levandis Valor, sila muna ang bibitaw on the meantime, and will try to play it safe on their side. Again, this is gonna be your
Guys,
Levandis
putulin
Valor,
ko lang yung mapa para fair.
MC, your team number 11.
Minsan okay lang talagang bumitaw pag mga ganitong sitwasyon.
Ayun.
Ano? For today's video. Well, when it comes to really those engagements, if you're not yet confident with your setup, it's okay to disengage. If you can, if you have no choice really to go in for the push, go in for that already. Speaking of which, medyo royal here. Pinaabangan ng konti ang MW here sa baba. Let's see if they want to go in for this push already. Fate, medyo thinking about it already, whether to go in for this one. They have the advantage so far, no? That, pero it looks like it's not gonna be an advantage. It's a 1v4 situation. Fate would be absolutely insane here if he or she wants to engage with this one. Pero mukhang yun ang magiging sitwasyon. Naipit na. Fate, try to go in for the push, but unfortunately, bagsak na po courtesy of Aztec, and that finish is there already. Yun ang medyo huwag nating gagawin. If you are not in the favorable situation when it comes to 1v4, don't give up the high ground. Sayang eh.
I agree. Secure the high ground, secure the position, and maybe find that yung minimal error from the opposing player para makapag-reposition or makapalag. And going to the side naman ng team number 14 natin, your team AXP AP, playing this on a trio scenario. Kaninang bracket A dad, meron din tayong trio, at sa bracket B naman natin ay meron din tayong makikitang trio. We are now down to 77 players and still 22 teams. Isa pa lang ang napipitas. Malamang sa malamang maiiskat at may babalik. But the team Pave going in against BSN. Nagpapalagan sila dito at mukhang walang hindi umalis. And Pave Cha able to get some kills there. And clip naman madadali si Kyoka with that AK-117. That's gonna be 3 kills already for the team of Pave.
Si James, sinampa na yung sasakyan sa bubong. Pero Shiro may survive this one.
Parang si Doxy pala yun,
basically
may
backing out
sinasampa yung
already
Doxy sa
and
bubong.
perhaps leaving him alone for now. At least have the opportunity to get the rest of the
Doxy,
team
ikaw ba
back
yun?
up and running with the scan. So medyo at least, good thing for them. Although they lost that initial engagement, at least hindi naman to about kill points. It's still placement. So Shiro still has the opportunity to get the rest of the team here. So it's just really a matter of doing that right now. But of course, for the rest of the squad, same thing pa din. As much as possible, if it is unnecessary for you to engage, it is definitely something
Next
that you
na
should
sila,
do. Pero for
Pader.
XP, honestly, at this point, I would have just finished this one off already. That's one less team that you have to worry about. That's one less team for you to deal with during the end of the zone. So para at least, kumbaga, bawas na yung problema mo. Konti na lang yung kailangan mo alalahanin and hopefully, the rest of the squads will have to deal with these other teams as well.
I definitely agree. And also, I just want to bring this up, right? So we are seeing a lot of misdirection classes being utilized by the players. And just so you know, yes,
Kay
it's
Tito
smoke
Codem,
bomber
pwede
ay
kayo
mabilis
lumipat
with
doon.
a continuous
Pero if
damage.
you want to see
But
my
when it
face
comes to
card,
speed and consistency,
dito na kayo, please.
misdirection po
Watch
ang
me.
bawal.
Watch me
Mas
whip,
mabilis
watch me
yung
nay-nay.
misdirection, i-combine mo pa ng mas magandang wild
Finals
card
is
on your
tomorrow po,
advantage.
7
And
p.m.
tulad ng kanina, yung last remaining player nila ay naka-misdirection class utilizing the movement speed plus a wild card to enhance that speed is gonna give him yung malada flash na bilis ba. Mabilis na makukuha yung dog tag. Mabilis makakatamboy si Royal sumusugod dito with a smoke bomber. But no, what happened right there? Yuri able to knock down Seb of the Team Royal just like that. I think they tried to go for the dog tag, but then facing off a full squad waiting for that ambush. At nandito naman ang ating mga Team Euro, your team number 3, Euro Artemis, just holding up on a one single location. And one good thing here is magkakamukha sila. Pare-pareha sila ng operator or character na ginagamit. Hence, that's gonna go with a little bit of confusion, lalo na kung meron silang trickster. Kung meron man. Going naman sa side ng ZG natin, going against the Team IV, Miss Trevor will be taken out by Crip with a sniper and a headshot.
Mamaya pa sila,
Good
Boss
round of
Toy, guys.
opening it up. Si Crip naman
Susunod dito.
madadali ni Zijang with that SMRS. The pseudo sniper, ika nga, napalalagan with that SMRS. Nagkakasagura na. ZG going for the push. IV Hajime, Miss Trevor will be taken out by Razor and Crip from their encounter per script dito. And na-knockdown na, going in for the rescue. Napipitas isa-isa ang mga ZG. And si Dots and si Crip are the last two players standing for your team. Number 19, your ZG Shadow. So tingnan natin, will they be able to cast their shadow around?
Yes, bili ako ng 1 minute.
ZG
Everyone,
Shadow
guys,
has to like
naka-live
not
now.
engage at
Tito
the
Codem,
moment kasi
ako,
alanganin
Doc
sila
Z,
dito.
delay
But
ng 1
unfortunately,
minute.
that is the unfortunate play. Defender
For
coming in
safety
hot
lang,
right there.
guys.
Zijang trying to get it. Pero the backstab from Hajime right there connecting perfectly. E-Dot and Crip down and out already.
Solid.
So napita sila lahat dito ng IV. I believe this is this is IV, no? Poison IV Omni ang nakapitas. Mukhang malakas pa rin talaga tong squad na to hanggang ngayon. As in.
I agree. Poison Ivy able to get that wipeout at ang ating mga leap main naman mukhang nagpapakita ang Galas then on their side. That's gonna be Sato able to get that kill and Olden naman comes into the play. 3 players lang ang naglalaro for your team number 21, your leap main. We have Layla, Sato, and Dawn playing for the placing and so far they got 2 kills already. Mukhang hindi rin sila nagiging super aggressive knowing that they have that short hand disadvantage.
Kasi last
when
time
it
nauna
comes
sila
to
dun nung
number of
ano
players
eh.
alive. But looking at that class, they have Medic, Smoke Bomber, and Ninja class for them to utilize or even survive and even get some wild cards on their advantage.
Has been delivered.
Ayun na nga. So medyo nakikita na natin yung utilization of the wildcards here, no? So it's really a matter of, unfortunately, it's at either what you find and utilize it or at least if you can trade it with your teammates, no? Kung ano yung mas babagay at mas magagamit yun ng maayos. But now, of course, here, Omega, just all alone basically here at this point dahil medyo malayo si Hangin. Nasa himpapawid pa ata, perhaps, dahil wala siyang kasama dito. Will not be engaging for sure with anyone right now. At least survival is key here for Omega and the rest of the team. Meanwhile, this is an interesting setup. Compared to Bracket A, which 90% of the squads were stationing themselves outside of the zone, at least half is inside already. So medyo iba yung galawan din ng mga to. So mas gusto nila na either perhaps go to the boxes already para makakuha ng kanilang custom loadouts or gets those plates already for them. So, those armors para at least mas makunat sila as the game progresses. But for the rest, they're still playing that edge zone setup for these some of these squads. So you can see a mix of techniques here for Bracket B.
Mix of techniques, really, because again, if you want to play aggressive, then by all means. If you want to play passive, then why not? Right? It's really depending on your class, really depending on your wild card. And just to bring this up to attention, no? Sige, on the surface, or based na nakikita natin sa screen, barilan. That's about it. But honestly, there's a lot going on in the background, especially with these wild cards involved. Meron dyan, pag nag-heal yung kakampi mo, mahihil kayong lahat. Pag nag-plate yung kakampi mo, mag-heal din kayong lahat. So there's a lot of team play opportunity, a lot of combination with these wild cards to utilize as a team for the rest of the rounds. And now for the team Leap. Oh, back on that 4-man. There you go. Mukhang napunta lang pala sa flight zone ng isa nating player. So there you go. Glad, Layla, Sato, and Dawn back on a full squad power. It's our naman natin able to get some kills against the players of the team HS. And so far, your Leap main is still holding up at least a little bit of a high ground for themselves.
Kasi sila nakasali last time dun sa finals
no,
and
up until now,
CG
they are
nung
still
December.
on the same spot.
Kaya feeling ko talagang medyo inaano to dito talagang controlled na controlled
Esports, just going in for the rally call, 4-man power, and gonna go roam around the map to maybe get some fights or maybe get some better loots or wild cards or even arsenal guns for themselves.
For sure. No? So medyo ito yung technique na iba. Upgrade muna tayo habang hindi pa masyadong production. That's still a good technique, especially for these squads. No? Pero this time, this is a whole different story again. For OK here, they're basically positioning themselves at this house, using this as their safe ground, making sure that whoever comes from that zone, I guess yun yung medyo sa kanila sa babakbak. Or B, they're just gonna wait off until all the chaos ensues. Saka na sila lalabas pag konti na lang. That's still a possible technique for some of them. Meanwhile, squad letter E here, and E is of course Noble Reality Kings, trying to perhaps see some action here for the side. So medyo ang kalaban nila dito ay ang nag-iinit na Leap na nasa kabilang dulo. Pero I don't think they'll be able to engage completely right there and there. I don't think they have the distance power to deal with them for now. So perhaps that's not gonna be a good situation. Just probably comms lang. Just information, rely to the team. And then, plan your attack perhaps, or at least if there's somebody else coming in, sa kanila sa pumosh. As you can see, for Nobility Reality, they're just staying outside of that zone, waiting for Leap to either get out. Siguro pag takbo nila, sa kanilang nila babanatan. That's a possible technique. Let's see how they approach this one.
I agree. Let's see how the teams will be approaching one another. Pero mukhang umiikot na ang ating team NE or your Noble Reality Kings. On the side of Flip naman, they will be housing that ORV as well para makaikot mga ronda.
Yes guys, repost the live. Sobrang laking help yan guys.
Sa MW naman natin, trying to secure that high ground. And look at that. Liam will take a kill against Sakai of the team IME on their region, having some engagement from their side. And that's how they want to open it up. For the team of Most Wanted naman, your team number 8 still trying to get that high ground, but going to the side of B and K, or your team number 12, your team Templar, Smoke Bomber comes to the flex. Isa sa kanila dito ay napatumba na. Going in for rescue, 3 players still alive and kicking. May yun na nga isa nilang player. And now Throwable comes into the action. There you go, Tango. Ace going in, and 200 one another with some shotgun, and Tango will be taken out by Ace of BNK. That's gonna be 2 kills for the team BNK. Still on a full squad power and able to survive that, even maybe get some better loots or better wild cards.
Ayan, so definitely good setup there for BNK, no? So that's a good technique on how to really engage with these situations. Hindi masyado aggressive. Sakto tama lang, good rotation and how to deal with your opponents. This time, this is a terrain advantage for both MW and their opponents at the side. Squad letter 2, I think that's Revenant Esports na nasa kabilang bundok. Or I think it's also Unbound as well. So medyo they're just trying to hide from each other's shadows here basically. So Unbothered and MW ang medyo nagtataguan dito sa bundok. This is again, how do you deal with the terrain that you're dealing with? Do you simply expose yourselves immediately? Pero mukhang ang eyes ng Unbothered ay nasa Leap sa baba. Hindi man lang doon sa nasa kabilang side nila because they don't really have a good visual for MW. But I can't chew. I guess perhaps it's going to go for an indirect check here already for that team and Unbothered and MW as well. So medyo for MW, tamang chill lang, tamang tago. This is a good technique here. If they surprise Unbothered here, they have the advantages. It just so happened that they have a weird setup on the terrain. If Unbothered push back, doon sila may ipit. So they need to have eyes here on the MW side as well. So mukhang medyo aatras na muna ang Unbothered. Meanwhile, we're gonna shift This time for VVV Esports, one of the OGs here definitely might need to deal with Leap here and AXP from out the other side. So medyo watak-watak ng konti, pero let's see if this one works out for them.
Let us see on the buhay ng ating VVV. Benny Pitchin, nakapalaga na nga, and EasyJ able to knock down Flex with that SMRS. And look at that, Risky, just like that, will be the last player standing for the team VVV. And si Don naman able to get that punk up. And Risky going in, and si Pico naman na itayo pa, babalik pa sa action, na-scan na ng log tag na nila mga kasama, may babalik pa ang iba pa mga players of the team VVV or your team number 22. Going sa side ng AXP naman, dalawa pa sila dito natitira. We have Norby and CJ on their side. Flex is already on the revive flight. Nasa harapan ang mga Royal at ang ating Leap Esports. Sato, God, able to get that kill against Royal. Rush from that encounter. Risky naman, trying to risk it all. Firing some gunshot and now using that snowboard to reposition on a better spot at makapag-group sa kanyang kampe. Ang ating RVNT naman, pinapalagan din ng mga VVV. Si Giro naman madadali ni Hangin of the team GU. Zone is really challenging right now, and this is a very challenging terrain. Yung slope niya, the upper ground, the lower slope, the higher grounds are very interesting. There's a lot of gameplay that they can do. They want to play for the low grounds, play for the peaks, then all they want to play for the high ground and get that bird's eye view advantage, then why not? There's a lot of possibility when it comes to positioning and gameplay that they want to do. But so far, your Leap main with 4 kills and still a full squad power, and we are now down to 17 teams alive for this bracket B.
17 teams, pero ganito na lang kalit yung zone. Eto na naman po tayo mga kaibigan. This time, Revenant trying to go in for the push here from the high ground advantage. Medyo nakakadilihan. As you mentioned nga, no, Gaman, this entire setup, even with that cluster grenade, is definitely a good equalizer right there. So medyo nakakadurugan ng konti with that clusters here, no? So far, Leap still alive, Revenant still there, I guess. MW still also on the side. So this is a real interesting situation. If you're not really adept to fighting when it comes to this certain terrains, mahihirapan ka talaga. Unfortunately, Revenant had to give up their position from that setup because they are unable to engage correctly with their opponents. So they need to get out. But unfortunately, that's gonna put them in Leap's scouts basically. No? So medyo this time, iba naman ang sinisilip din ng MW. Meron sila sa baba, meron sila sa taas. Pero may nandun sa sulok na pave. So medyo for now, hindi pa sila nagpaparamdam. But this time, for the rest, it is absolute chaos here. Left, right, and center. Glad try to go in for the manages to do so. Shut down Aztec already. And of course, eto na. Kumukonti na po tayo na kumukonti. But still, look at how they play in this terrain. This is a very difficult one. This takes a lot of significant skill set and practice to make sure that you're able to engage with your opponents at this angle.
I agree, because now bracket A is almost the same as bracket B. We are now approaching the final moments of this bracket B, and yet we still have 14 teams alive. So dito na magsimulang maging gera, maging balagbagan ang ating mga teams and players. Sabayan kung sabayan, mata sa mata, ngipin sa ngipin. At ating mga DDK naman medyo naiipit. Merong kalaban sa taas, sa kaliwa, at sa kanan nilang side. So they really need to be careful how they want to tread the terrain. Smoke bomb hanggang City to play, and snowboard naman coming from Sleepy, trying to survive and trying to find a better ground. At nagkakaupusan ng mga players. NE versus RVNT, AXP versus another one, DTK versus DU. Si Hangin madadali ni Sleepy with a DPSA. That's gonna be a smoke into the action as well for the team BNK naman. Dalawa na sila matitira for the Poison Ivy. They still have a full squad power and they have a good cover on their end. Less throwables coming to the play for the team Poison Ivy. Still having that 4-man power with 4 kills naman sa kanila. Tamang tutok si Zhejiang, just trying to fire some few shots. At ang dami pang players sa labas at ang diamond players sa taas. We have Leap and Pave challenging one another. Leap going in for the engagement. BNK Ace will be taken out by Mentos of that team NE, and this is gonna be the Atlas side for the Poison Ivy. Dito sila mag-hold up, dito sila mag-try mag-survive, pero pinasok, sinugod at challenge ang kanilang pwesto. Risky getting that kill. Hajime now will be taken up. Hajime makakapalag din against Pico and Risky. Both of them taken out. Ivy, Haha, and Zhejiang, the last two player alive. Medic into the action. Zhejiang going for the rescue. Miss Trevor back on his or her feet. ready for that action. Pero si Hajime naman mata-down because of the blue zone. Look at that damage coming from the blue zone. That is not a joke. That is not easy. 5 teams left. Isang team na lang ang mabura dito. Secure na yung 4 na teams.
Indeed, and looks like that's gonna be one member here from Revenant ang medyo holding on for dear life here. Leap also not in a good situation. They are basically down to Don and Sato here as much as he can. Pero mo si Don ang bubuhat ng lahat ng ito. Don trying to go for the push. Pabe, Clip RX here jumping up from top, trying to go for the finish. Managing to get those easy takedowns already. Pabe also doing their best to shut down. They still have a 4-man stack. Revenant Esports. Solo na lang dito si B. Trying to survive here. Pero Ivy ang babanata. Manages to do so. Monde is down. Pero medyo pa siyang nahanap isa. Okay, Cherry, perhaps going to go for the push. So far, Revenant is trying to survive here. It is an absolute monster. Pave Esports have the high ground advantage. Dio Omega somehow has this house to themselves. So medyo ito yung ginagamit ng cover. Pero let's see who makes the first mistake here. Definitely Revenant B here is an absolute monster. Surviving, thriving here. Pero ito, 2v2 situation. Omega, lalabas. Na-flash ng konti pero hindi pa rin mag-engage. Unfortunately, Pave from the high ground shuts it down. Now it's down to Pave and DU here. They are getting pummeled already. Pave, 4 people stacked here. It's gonna be over soon. And that is it for Bracket B. What a way to Pave and Victa. High ground advantage and the W securing first place. Pero not bad for Revenant B. Kahit solo, pumush pa ng third place. And of course for DU, smart move there for DU main. They just held on to that spot. Okay na sila kahit anong mangyari. Second place is good. What was really interesting here was Poison Ivy had the good idea, but when they got stormed out, they failed. Plus the zone, nadali sila sa labas.
Oh good my goodness. I agree. And the key highlight there, honestly, is for the team of Pave and Victa securing that good high ground. For the rest of the match, for the rest of that final moments ng ating round, they really did well. They really did that securing that high ground ng matagal na panahon. And of course, here are your top 4. We have your team number 7, which is Pave and Victa. Team number 13, which is your team, Dio Main. And securing for our third place, we have team number 2, your Revenant Esports. And lastly, securing fourth place, your team number 15. Your team of... is that 15? There you go. Team number 15, that's your team. Okay, fine, never mind. That is one good engagement.
Oh, congratulations to these 4 teams. Sayang for Poison Ivy and Leap Main, no? Sayang kasi 5 and 6 na lang sila, but unfortunately they did not survive that final zone and that initial engagements, you know. But nevertheless, that is the situation we have for Bracket B. It's a whole different playstyle. So medyo iba yung naging execution ng mga players for Bracket B, no? But let's see naman kung anong observations ng ating mga hosts. Charlene, Doc D. Siyempre, unahin ko na si Charlene. Ayan.
Hindi ako naman this time.
Bakit ako naman?
Ako naman. Kasi, kanina, nagkaroon na ako ng technical difficulties. So, guys, grabe. Grabe yung nangyari ngayon. Kasi, makikita natin, comparing with the Bracket A, yung Bracket A, yung last zone natin is, plain fields eh. But this time, merong bundok.
May high grounds.
And naalala ko kanina sinabi ni JD the Caster Dad na don't give up the high ground. At sino bang nanalo this time? Yung hindi na-give up ng high ground. 'Di ba? So talagang perfect talaga ang positioning, guys. Minsan, dun nadadali sa positioning talaga. So, ayun. Yun lang talaga. Sayang rin. Nasayangan ako sa Lip at saka sa Poison Ivy kasi sila yung familiar names na natatandaan ko last CG na nakapasok sa finals. And actually, I was rooting for Lip kasi syempre content creator ko si Don.
Oo nga.
And nasad ako kasi naipit sila at naipit sila sa position nila. So, sayang.
Kumbaga parang kinapos eh. Ganun yung nangyari
Kinapos talaga eh.
Okay naman yung kung may kill points. Pero kasi top 4 talaga yung hinahanap natin dito sa playoff stage natin. So, yes, kahit na nalaglag ang Leap, I'm sure babawi yan kasi marami pa tayong tournaments in the
Yes.
future. And
Yes,
this
hopefully, Tito
yes,
Kodem.
this is just the beginning. So, excited na ako for brackets. Bracket sila tayo? Uy, in
Yep.
fairness, bracket sina tayo. And I know maraming familiar names dito and mga up-and-coming teams na talaga nakapasok dito sa bracket C. Pero, again, ipakita lang natin kung sino yung top 4 natin for bracket B.
And checking again our stats for bracket B and Gamma.
Yes, there you go for our bracket B. Once again, securing the first spot coming in for the Team Pave. Top 2 naman is gonna be your Team DU. Top 3 with Revenant Esports and top number 4 naman, your Team Okay, fine, never mind. So these teams, these players will secure their spot for the grand finals. And again, this is why it is challenging. This is already the playoffs, and we are going in for the placement again. We are just trying to filter out and sino ang magpo-proceed for the grand finals. May it be you, magkakaipitan ba? Did you guys have a good decision on taking the high ground? Maganda ba yung puwesto na inyong kinuha? And I think one also, let's say, good advantage here or the good point here that I would like to state is yung last na CG natin, merong variety, merong spice, and that is the crime up. And this time, there's another variety spicing it up, introducing again the wildcard system. So every CG, every community gladiators that we had so far is giving us this spice, giving us the variety up. Let's say a momentarily of surprise for the teams and players, not just opting in for the regular gunplay, for the regular gameplay that most ranked games goes on, but this time around, adding up different some spice. Isn't that right, Dad?
Oh, definitely. Those changes, fortunately for some of them, perhaps they haven't really adjusted just yet. Because this is absolutely new. No? Parang, I think they just came in like a week before the Community Gladiators. Diba? Parang a week before tayo mag-official. Saka lumabas yung, yung update. So, I guess for some of them, we're not able to really have the time to like practice really.
Adjust.
Even though you've already
Adjust.
adjust. Medyo mahirap talaga actually mag-adjust. Although parang in your head, it seems fine, but of course with the patch notes and the updates for particularly for the classes, you will still need to re-engage. Plus, with the addition of this, parang especially pag ang setup mo, sabi ko, pag naka-medic ka, tas naka-medical kit ka, iyakan na yan.
Yes.
Or kung hindi man, naka-quick
Galing.
recovery kayong lahat. Or for those na naka-scout, mag-Hawkeye ka, which is basically giving you the opportunity to see everybody else.
Yes.
So medyo may mga konting may mga konting advantages na nakikita yung ibang players who are using the wildcards now than those who are not, or those who don't have it in their loadout. So medyo yun yung how do you deal with that if you're unable to pick up these things? Paano mo maka-counter yung advantages na meron yung ibang teams? So I guess that is some of the things that they have to think of for the first 8 squads na nakapasok na sa ating final. So medyo ibang galawan na tayo pagdating nating final. So I'm sure after tonight, medyo babalik na yun ng konti sa So scrims, balikin sa lobby, re-engage with it, try to check kung ano ba yung kailangan nating i-adjust, relearn the game, so to speak, until you're ready to go for the finals. Kasi syempre, matagal na kayo pinaglalabanan natin dito.
Yes!
Yes.
Ako naman, ang parang if ako yung sasali, wow, talagang nilagay ko yung shoes ko. Kung nilagay ko yung sarili ko sa shoes nila. If ako yung sasali, I think if I'm using a class na medyo manipis or mabilis siya ma-damage, siguro ang gagamitin ko is medical kit. So, pwedeng yung mga parang makakapal naman or yung parang example, defender, igniter, yan kasi sila yung mga makunat di ba? Sa tingin ko, pwedeng iba yung gamitin nila para naman meron silang parang additional class kasi yung wildcard for me. So, parang,
kumbaga, kung ano yung nako-compromise ng
kung
class,
wala ka, yun yung kunin mo.
Yes,
Yun.
tama.
So, parang pwede din ganun Depende talaga yan sa mga maglalaro. But, Dad and Gamma, sino ba yung mga teams na aabangan natin for bracket C?
Alright, so we'll take it from here. Bracket C, we will be having your team, i.e. Equinox, FX Academy ETR, Most Wanted Bravo, Daigo Genji Esports, Generals, Delta Rascals, YG Gang, VI Sola Invictus Team 2, Wolfpack, AE Wonderbirds, LPK Outlaws GTX, Bardagulan Esports Main, and the rest, Dad.
Rain YSL, Vixens Esports will be here. Bracket C, RK Fury, LPK Empress GTX, ELV Esports YBC, Overlord, DBK Esports Outlaw, APE Candy, 4K Overload, and Vitality. Ayan.
Oh.
Wow,
There you have
madami-dami
it, diba?
tayong mga pang mga
Familiar names.
Na
Yeah.
mga clans na nandito, and marami din nagko-comment dito kanina na na inaabangan din talaga nila kung kailan lalabas yung 4K. Pero sa akin,
Oo.
minsan wala din yan sa mga familiar names kung sino yung nakakapasok. So,
Kasi
abang-abang
actually,
tayo.
yung nangyari dun sa, bracket B, di ba?
Oo.
Sayang.
Batak na batak pa sa mga yun guys, sa mga scream, sa mga tour na. Pero nakita nyo guys, talagang strategy kasi isang beses ka lang magkamali, laglag ka na. Diba? So, ayan. In a short while, the bracket C will begin na rin. And guys, kanino ba kayong teams naka-root this time? Sino bang mga inaabangan nyo? And
Yes,
also,
cheer nyo naman sa comment section.
yes. Guys, like and share the stream also. Sobrang appreciate namin if you will leave a like and comment or share the live. Pero, kalmahan nyo lang, guys. Huwag kayo masyado mag-away-away dyan sa comment section.
Ay, nag-aaway-away ba?
Kalma lang.
Nag-aaway ba?
Ang init
ba?
Ang init Playoffs pa lang eh. Oh. Mainit
Uy,
na yung mga supporters.
Daig nyo pa yung lobby Daig nyo pa yung lobby. Sa
Kaya
init.
nga. Pero yan guys, anong oras nga ba tayo magsisimula? But yes, congratulations sa mga nakapasok na top 4 teams from Bracket A and Bracket B. Ngayon naman, malapit na tayo sa Bracket C. We are so excited, guys! Dami nga nagsasabi dito ng porking. So, guys, again, wala kaming bias dito. Talagang community to, community tournament. Kung sino talaga yung nagbabatak, siya talaga yung makakapasok. Ganun talaga yung mangyayari.
Yes.
Kayo, Dad and Gamma, anong masasabi niyo doon?
Alright, there you go. Thank you so much, ladies, Sharlene and Doxy. But now, our bracket C is about to start. So again, me and JD will take it over once again. So,
Bye!
there you go. With
Yeah.
that said, Dad, so I like the idea here na pinpoint or that they're trying to pinpoint, which is the opportunity. So yes, we understand that you as an individual have a favorite team, have a favorite player, and have a favorite clan that you want to support. But let's go back a little bit to the root one. Community gladiator. Hence, it's about the community itself, giving the chance to other teams, to other clans to rise up, build up their fame, build up their competitive prowess, and maybe secure even a better spot on the next upcoming tournaments. Even though I hope that these players, that these viewers rather, on our comment section, I know that you guys are getting spicy right there, but let's try to make it, let's say, on an analytical side. What do you think, right, can this team or this player might have done to have a better output or to have a better outcome? So let's leave it at like that, not just some comments on a bragging rights, but make it on an analysis, right? Isn't that right, Dad? And looks like this is it for this.
Just
now
possible.
let's see
Yeah,
how.
okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Dad. Go ahead.
No,
there you go.
wala.
I thought
Wala
I
yung
lost
camp
you
eh.
there. Yeah.
Wala yung camp ko lang.
Welcome back, Dad. So yeah.
Andito
What's
pa
your
ako.
thoughts? Mhm.
Ayan, sabi ko nga just a reminder for everyone to be good and play nice lang, especially at the comment section. We know you're all excited kasi syempre alam natin na nasabik tayo with the BR community tournaments that has been a while since we've had one. So, just keep it clean here at the comment section. But nevertheless, we also want you to really root for your respective teams here. And we're really appreciative that you're showing your supports here sa comment section with these teams. And I'm sure you're all proud of your teammates na kasama natin ngayong gabing ito. And of course, for the rest of the brackets as well in the future. Pero before anything else lang, special shoutout lang po sa lahat na nagsasabing ang pogi daw ni Gamagori.
Uy,
Tatad na po yung comment section ng pogi daw ni Gama.
What happened there? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Community Gladiators 42 Royale Bracket C is now on its way, and now the players are dropping in and hot. And yes, your most awaited team is here for King's Overload. Let's see if they can rise up for their name. And here we go.
That is indeed the question, ano. So, as you've seen earlier, the bracket B, it is not just about your name, it's not just about your prowess, this is about strategy. How do you survive this entire map with that opportunity to place yourself at the top 4? That's the goal here. It is more than just the kills. It is about your strategy. You have to be smart here. Aggression is also key, pero you have to be smart and aggressive at the same time. So medyo, yun yung mga bagay na kailangan nating pagtuunan ng pansin here with this game. As we of course start off already. 22 squads here. Delta showing off already. At the same time, Viper nagpaparamdam na rin. Medyo solid engagement for their team. Meanwhile here, ELV medyo tahimik pa ng konti, but Yang managing to find Yuri already post-cam, no? So medyo yun na yung naging initial engagement nila. But Delta, those bag unfortunately is down already. Bang here on the side. Needs to deal with Viper on the other end of this building. They have to make sure that they can do it just right. Medyo those up, medyo mukhang inaabangan ng konti. Delta Fang will not push through just yet. So kailangan medyo, wag ka muna aalis basta-basta. I think we're having some difficulties here, but all good. Again, this Mythic class, eto na naman. Dito mo talaga nakikita how well do you utilize these things eh. When is the perfect situation to use them and how do you do it?
I agree. How you are going to execute the game plan that you have, maybe as an individual or as a team. Now, going back here, your team of Viper, down to their 3 players alive. Klings is still bleeding out, trying to survive out there, but Klings is now being rescued by their teammates. We still have 22 teams. Wala pang nauubos, wala pang nawa-wipe out. Yeah, a little bit of some knockdowns here and there, but
I'm
not
so
enough
quiet.
to cause a havoc, not
Hindi naman ako
enough
nakaka-enjoy
to cause
panoorin
a
kung tahimik ako,
wipeout.
di ba?
Vitality Claudie on the other side, just looting up the place and making sure that they're ready for the engagement. But we can see from the map that there are different teams around the area. That's going to be the team LPK around the vicinity, and also another color, another team coming from the different side of the building that maybe, just maybe, they'll be engaging with one another or not. It really depends on how they want to play. So bracket A went out passive aggressive. Bracket B is also passive aggressive, but now down to bracket C. Are we going to be seeing the same gameplay of passive aggressiveness, or is it going to be more of the aggressive side?
From the looks of it, medyo they're really eager to engage. From what we're seeing, so medyo active yung kill feed natin. And we can definitely see that they're in the idea of making sure that they eliminate as many opponents as they can. And then when the time comes that they need to go for push for the zone, konti na lang yung mga teams na kailangan nilang asikasuhin. Kumbaga, fewer teams to deal with at the edge. That's definitely gonna put them in a better situation. Now, Delta definitely using that scout there to make sure that they have eye set on the Viper clan here on the other side. Pero medyo not engaging just yet. Ryota try to fire up and let's see kung medyo mapapalabas niya ang Viper there. Pero meanwhile, lipat tayo dito sa IE. Tikro and the rest of the crew here. Medyo gumugusto, humahanap, hinahabol ang MV ata na nasa likod. And nga also making sure their presence felt here off cam. Eto na, nagkaharapan na. Zero. Try to go for the push. But medyo hindi pa kumakagat just yet. Nakatakas pa ng kote. But down na rin ang Renba from Vixen. And the finish is there already. But still, 22 squads pa rin. Kahit medyo may mga engagements, wala pang wipeout na nangyari. These squads still has the opportunity to come back strong here for Josh and Nero to rescue back Renba and Alex.
Yes, and we saw some back-to-back action, right? However, if you're going to be noticing up there, it's still 22 teams. No wipeout just yet. No teams has been eliminated so far.
Tama.
So everyone here is still trying to survive. Maybe down to their 2 players, maybe down to their 1 player. But nonetheless, they're still alive and kicking. On the side of the team number 7, Team PV is on this side. Let's see if they will be going in for some engagement. They're just going in to secure some high grounds. They're not really aggressive just for the Team PV. for team number 7 going in for the airborne, trying to get that bird's eye advantage and maybe go for a better location. Maybe go for some loot, crate packs, or even some airdrops or arsenal drops. It really depends on how they want to do it. On the side of our team number 1, your IE Equinox or Immortal Esports Equinox, playing it safe. Look at that. They're just trying to hold it up. They are already upgraded. They have guns, they have ammunitions, they have good mods as well or attachments for those, and now just waiting for the opportunity.
Pwede
And
ako
for the side of team number 10, AE back
Wala
into the
kayong
windmill
magagawa
side. This is gonna be Despair with a sniper, and there's gonna be 2 of them really. We have Wavy here just on the left side taking a pick with that sniper, trying to see if we can spot some different players. But on the side of RK versus Gen, Lurax will be taken out. Now Ryuzaki will be the last player standing for your team number 5, Team Generals, and now trying to maybe go in for the high ground. And let's see here. Oh, we have here Gen Wu as well. 2 players left. However, Wu have a broken armor, and looks like Wu doesn't have any armor plates and just a medic class to play along with.
Medyo bad situation here for Zen here. Although they're definitely the idea to go for the high ground advantage, dealing with RK perhaps, medyo trying to disengage. Medyo magkalayo kasi silang dalawa dito eh. So hopefully, they can recuperate themselves, get some opportunities to find their equipment, at least find some good equipment for them before they engage with RK right now. But so far, I guess Gian and the rest of the crew does not really need to find Wu here. It's not really much of a threat. The bigger threat right now is definitely that zone to get out. Is that going to be the case? Medyo mukhang yun na rin ang idea ni Wu here. So medyo unfortunately, medyo manipis na lang siya. Pero mukhang napitas pa ni Ben. Pag-angat kanina doon with that sniper. Yun lang, hindi na umabot unfortunately. But now of course RK, definitely 2 frags to their name. But still outside the zone, have access to the vehicle. So they definitely have the better opportunity to push themselves there already. So at least wala na naman sila masyadong kalaban dito sa area na to. I'm sure they've already looted this area out. And the next goal for them definitely is push themselves inside the zone. As we see the map here, as we can see, we're about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
11 squad outside of the zone, the rest inside already. So medyo 50-50 galawan to, but most of them, as you can see, medyo almost inside already. People on the outpost almost secured already. People at the nuclear facility medyo secured din because that's already where our zone is. So everyone will definitely be pushing themselves for that squad letter HMU. If they can hold their ground already, pwede na lang abangan lahat ng pupunta, and hopefully they have the snipers to take out their opponent.
I definitely agree. And Ben with a sniper earlier on managed to do a quick scope and get that kill. However, again, I want to highlight this. We have seen a lot of actions already, or let's say a few actions here and there, and some action coming from the kill feed. But look at that. Still, 22 teams alive and standing. Still, 22 teams for these players. And look at this, your team FX maybe going in for a medic strategy here. They're still outside of the zone. And mind you, that is far away from the safe zone. So I don't know if the team FX will just hold up there until the bitter end, or will they be pushing forward as well? Because again, once the zone closes in, I think, right on the 4th or 5th zone, it's gonna be really risky. It's gonna be really dangerous because the blue zone will be packing a lot of damage, and the team IE is now engaging with a different team. And look at that. Now, finally, 21 teams left. There's a team that already been wiped out from our eyes, and ELV still using that medic class. Jagger going in for that, and most wanted Blink going in for the high ground. There's a different team around the vicinity. That's going to be the team of Generals. However, your team number 3, your most wanted Bravo, is not engaging yet. They're holding up, crouch and proning. Oh, Blink with some racket here. Let's see, FHJ, will that be a hit? It's Visa coming in, but nope. I don't think that's gonna be hitting the mark.
Survives that one, Ryuzaki managed to survive that. But unfortunately, he's outside of the zone. So medyo, I guess, the goal here is probably get the rest of the team back up and running. At least si Wu, no? That's the goal, definitely. Managed to pick up already, get that motorcycle, get back into the zone, can first, sakto, okay na. So hopefully, umabot pa sa loob yan. So that's a good strategy. So buti na lang dito mama yung launcher kanina. At least that's gonna put them in a 2-man situation advantage. But nevertheless, no, again, it's still 21 squads at this point. As you can see, the zone is very small already for most of these players. still definitely holding off in the engagement. They're still trying to make sure that they have all the equipment and all the things that they need for their team. But again, is this strategy gonna work for them this time? So medyo, there is a significant distance between where most of them are versus the actual zone. So medyo masyado silang napababa. But for the squad that are already inside the zone, again, as I mentioned, if you find the support that's coming in already, you have the location advantage, you could just shut them out already right then and there. So let's see if this is gonna be the case. But of course, it's really a matter of time kung medyo ipit pa ng konti. So far, for IE, ito, papasok na rin sila dito. At mukhang nagpapasukan na rin lahat ng squad natin sa ating zone as we are moving closer and closer to the end of our game.
Closer and closer. We can see now that the zone is closing in, and let's see how these players will be engaging with one another. Medic here coming from Citro. They are fully upgraded, all of them, for the side of Team IE, but we are not yet seeing another engagement. Jackal here from the Team PG. He will be knocked down because of that blue zone, because again, this is a very thin line that you want to tread in. Going in for the medic strategy with the wild cards on, playing outside of the zone is not a bad idea. However, you need to be very mindful of that damage, because this blue zone damage is not a joke. And going to the side of IE, securing that high ground and still outside of the zone, looks like this is how they want to do it. But for the team, Vitality and LPK having some engagement on their side of the map. ELV Kian will be taken up. Oh, LPK. Looks like they're playing aggressive here. For the side of Team Generals, Ryuzaki and Wu will be the last two players alive for their team, while the Team Viper already have or still a full squad power and now trying to get inside of the zone, and Lucas will be taken out by 4 Kings of Vanta. And I believe Vanta is the newest player added for our team, 4 Kings, and already performing out.
So far, so good. Pero medyo still quiet for most of these squads. Again, 20 squads remain as we have this zone at this point. Viper Clinks just hiding up from Meow and Pader. So medyo tago konti muna ang Viper against 4 Kings here. So they're trying to make sure that they have the advantage here against very formidable squad. Meanwhile, APK just making sure to run down their opponents basically here. So medyo plus G and Kai, unfortunately, are down and out. Sinagasaan din ni Blink doon. Unfortunately, medyo nagkasagasaan na itong mga to. So again, it's not just a matter of your weapons. Even your vehicles can be used that same way as well. Pero medyo, I guess, for LP, medyo kailangan na nilang pumasok. They don't have, I guess, a medic already at this point. Perhaps that's gonna be the other 2 members na nawala sa kanila, no? But for the rest, again, 20 squads still remain. Most of them are still outside of the zone. It is still a matter of time before we actually see major significant takedowns from these squads. At mukhang LPK, medyo nasilip na medyo may tao doon. Teka, atras tayo. Ikot-ikot na lang muna. Hindi mo na tayo sisilip basta-basta. At I guess, no, I think that's gonna be the case for them. They are not gonna move. They're probably waiting for DGE to give up their spot as well. Same thing with Viper. They perhaps are just waiting for that push, and that is good. So the takedown is good. Managed to take down 1. Nyx trying to go for the push. Not just yet, pero may backdoor assist na agad from another team. Pero medyo may Viper pa doon sa kabilang side. Smoke coming in already. Just trying to finish this one off. Let's see if this one works finally. Not just yet, pero medyo gumulo na yung sitwasyon dahil dalawa na ang kailangang squad na alalahanin ng LPK here. Medyo nagkawatak sila ng konti dito. But let's see. Looks like we're gonna leave that action for now as Viper and Jackal just made sure to engage that pair, with Viper winning that one. Meanwhile, VTL Claude here, also outside the zone. Medyo quiet. 3 frags to turn in, but still, everyone is almost upgraded except for, well, Tio lang pala upgraded. The rest medyo kalmado pa. Mukhang nakita na si Shin. Long range takedown. Could not finish it just yet. But of course, the zone is gonna kick in. Now it's gonna put her in him in a bad situation. Paul try to push through pero may launch pa sa kabila. Ayan na. Eto na yung medyo question sa inyo. How do you deal with these situations?
How do you deal with this scenario? And there you go. Luens will be taken out by Vitality Paul. And the zone is closing in. So you need to worry about the opposing team. And you need to worry about the zone closing in. And you need to be mindful of your positioning. So there's a lot of matters that you need to be aware of. And you need to be mindful of. But look at that. 20 teams still alive and kicking on our third zone. 20 teams still alive and kicking. Looks like our players on this bracket C is much more vigilant on how they want to play. Chifuyo will be taken out by Tokyo of the team 4Kings Overload. So we can see some action coming from the side of the 4Kings, just picking off here and there, playing
Guys,
for pick-ups
page
and
ni
just
Tito Kodem,
trying
hindi
to
lag.
hold their
Para
ground
lang
for their
alam
own.
nyo.
Whilst the team BE going in for the engagement against the team ELV on their front. Let's see how they'll be able to get more action here, while the team APE and 4K Ngao with a sniper getting that kill against Vipers, Pinks, and Lucas as well will be taken out by 4Kings. Ngao with a good juicy old sniper and a headshot. That is one good of an action coming from their side, but looking at the team ELV trying to survive and getting inside of the zone, while the team Viper, Vitality, and ELV just all on the same spot. Vitality Cream still on a full squad power, but look at that. 6 kills now for them, playing a little bit of aggressive, holding their ground a little bit more passively, and the team of APE versus Generals is also having some engagement.
Ayun na nga, medyo. This is a matter of stats, speed, trigger, discipline. Do you want to engage directly to your opponents as soon as they're visible, or you want them to draw themselves out a little bit better first before you fully engage? This is a question of how they want to approach this setup. And right now, as we mentioned, 17 squads remain, and look at that zone. It is absolutely small already, so we definitely expect a lot of action, and it's gonna be even crazier as the time progresses. So medyo mas magkakaipitan na po tayo ng konti dito. Speaking of which, the bridge coming in hot already. ELV trying to go push against Vitality here. Medyo nagkakaipitan ng konti, but could not connect just yet. But of course, for the rest of the squad, medyo kailangan nila lang i-focus ang pagpasok sa loob ng zone. So this is where things get ugly right now. It's just absolutely Nyao again making his presence felt tight to shut down EO with a long range right there. Not shutting down MB as well. So medyo nagkakapitasan na po tayo dito. This is where the action and the craziness come into lie already. Meanwhile, Vanta dealing with Delta here. Trying to go for the push. Long range takedown. Could not finish just yet. Pero meron pang ibang tao nakasama doon. This time, Vanta, I set on the Delta. Up and top. Manages to shut down right there. Now with the nade kill on Squid. What an execution right there. And now 4K Pader dealing with a lot of opponents here, and it doesn't matter who they are. Ang ganda na positioning dito ng 4K. Look at this. Most of them are far out of the zone. Nyao is very aggressive, but they are just taking out all their opponents right there where they are. This is an absolute chaos. This is how you want to play this one. You're in the zone, pero everyone's getting taken out. Why? Because they're all taking damage at the same time.
Parang may gusto patunayan to ah.
Oh my goodness me. Same time it is, and they are engaging at the same time with everyone against them, with the 4Kings right in the middle of the action. But your 4Kings Overload is living up to the expectation and challenging all of the players here. There you go. Basic will be knocked down by Ngao. Vanta on the backup, eliminating King Ray. Medic comes into the play. 14 kills now for the 4Kings Overload. Father, Vanta, Tokyo, and Ngao is doing a good job. However, Vanta will be taken out by LPKJ Camo with an S4S. That's going to be another one down for the team. But Ngao going in for the fight. A little bit of damage here and there, but that grenade breaking the armor of 4Kings Ngao. And now the zone is shrinking in once again. So these teams and players are now being pushed to fight with one another. Just like so. 3 players now for the team of 4Kings. They're still trying to dance away. Tokyo now with a snowboard. Padder with a good armor, good position. Oh, just beaming them down. Lasering them down. Good aim and good control coming from Padder and Tokyo. The both of them now with a multi-kill as well. Ngao on a 10-kill streak. Now, your team of 4Kings Overload is being really the highlight of this bracket. See, one engagement to another. There's going to be a new team engaging, but they are ready to go for the aim. But there you go. You're going to be praying for the prize now. Ngao will be taken out by APE. Maybe now it's going to be 2 players left, but Father will do the job, and we have a winner. Team number 21. Your 4 Kings Overload lived up to the question. Lived up to the name. So again, my question earlier before we even start the bracket C, will 4Kings able to live up their name? And they answered it right on my face, right on our face. Yes, Gamagori. Yes, Dad. Yes, Kodem. We can.
21 frag. Imagine that at the
Lala.
very end of that zone,
Sabi ko, ang galing
21
nung ngaw
frags.
si Nerosa
These
pala.
squads really shutting down everyone. Meow
Ayun,
through
no?
the smoke, shutting everyone. Tokyo, Pater, and Vanta
Ang
really
lala.
living up to their names, of course, securing their first spot. But APE also
Ubos!
managing to secure second. WP, that is, of course, Wolfpack with the third, and Vitality coming in at fourth. So that was definitely
Ang
the
lala,
most
men.
intense last few minutes of the game. As you can see, no, medyo sobrang late na ng zone. But
Mhm.
4K did definitely live up to their expectations and the hype, just shutting down everyone
Ang
from
lala.
all angles. They did not have basically the advantage of terrain. Wala silang advantage of terrain. They were almost at the open at certain points, but they managed to win the
Tindi.
gunfights, which is very critical at this point. Yan ang naging situation natin. But of course, I wanna hear this time kung ano ang basa ni na Sharlene and Doc Z regarding this one. So medyo expectations met ba?
Yep.
Oh, nagulat kami, to be honest.
Nag-work kami
And-
kasi... Doc,
Go,
sige,
ikaw
muna.
naman. Ikaw
muna.
naman.
Ikaw
Ako,
muna, ikaw
ako,
muna.
ako.
Oo.
Ako. Kasi, to be honest, never nawala sa zone ang 4K.
Mhm.
Pasok lang sila. Unlike dun sa bracket A, di ba? Halos lahat sila nasa labas ng zone.
Tama.
But this time, sinecure ng 4K ang place nila sa sanitarium, which naging okay dahil nandun yung zone.
Mm-mm.
And nagulat ako because magkakahiwalay sila. Hindi sila sama-sama sa isang place. May iba, meron yung isa nasa loob ng bahay, yung isa nasa bundok. So, kanya-kanya silang kills. Kaya naman nag-accumulate sila ng 25 kills in total. Kaya grabe talaga ang nangyari. Sa tingin ko, nakita nila ang tamang team sa isa't isa.
Ako tinatanong ko sa viewers kung sino yung ngaw-ngaw. Si Nerosa pala yun.
Kaya nga, dinosaur yun, di ba?
Dinosaur,
No.
yun, player yun eh. Kaya parang sabi ko, talagang feeling ko siya yung nag-guide this time dun sa team.
Yes.
Kasi siya yung parang medyo, yung wisdom sa BR scene, simula una pa lang hanggang ngayon na bumalik siya is, talagang palong-palo yung tao. So, hindi naman kami bias, pero kasi ang dami din nagsasabi na, RG Boys lang talaga yung 4K. Pero nagulat
Pero ngayon, pinunod
Nagulat
nila.
ako dito ngayon. Parang
Mm-mm.
perfect combination yung team nila ngayon. Kasi ang alam ko, nagmi-mixed up sila ng players now.
Yes.
And I think
Which
ito yung,
is dapat.
tama yung sinabi ni Doc, ito yung perfect combination na players para sa overload. So,
Yes.
bukod sa 4K
Actually,
overload,
Yung Vanta pala, grade 9 lang yun.
Weh?
Yes!
What?
What?
And new player siya, di ba? May sinabi sila na new player, grade 9 lang siya. Kaya
diba
nakakagulat.
guys, hindi talaga din lahat ng ng parang yung mga baguhan pa lang hindi makakapasok sa finals.
team.
Tingnan nyo naman to, 'di ba? Grabe, nakakagulat. Pero again, can we check yung top 4 teams
Yes.
natin sa bracket C?
Wow!
Wow!
Oh my goodness me. 4 Kings Overload rising up to the occasion, followed by our Alpha Prime at Esports C or Candy. Next up would be your WP, and last but not the least is your Team Vitality. So these teams, these players will be proceeding on the grand finals alongside with the top 4 of bracket B and bracket A. But
Husay,
now,
galing.
we are now trying to cook up for the next game. Again, that's gonna be bracket D.
Sabi,
Halfway na
nasa
tayo.
bracket din na tayo. Oo, malapit. D, E, F. Ay, malapit na. Malapit na talaga.
Nagbilang ka pa, Dok,
Oh, A, B, C, D, E, F. Ay, malapit na talaga.
Yes, we are so excited. But again, congratulations sa mga top 4 teams that made it to the finals na. From bracket
Yes.
A.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Sino kaya ang mananalo? We are halfway there. Pero again, we want to say hi to the viewers watching on Facebook,
What's up, guys?
YouTube, TikTok, shout out everyone. Thanks so much for your support sa Garena, BR community.
And
Thank
if you
so
can
much.
like and share the stream more, let's go. Let's get it on.
Yes, comment your favorite teams. But, guys, sabi nga ni Dad, ano yung sabi mo, Dad, kanina? Yung
Be good and play
Yan,
nice.
be good,
Be good and play nice.
Pati din sa mga viewers natin dyan na nanonood, be good. Be good lang. Kasi you're not playing naman at the moment, so be good lang.
Be good and be nice.
Yes, be good and be nice. Yes.
Ayos na naman natin sa comment.
Yes.
Medyo wala yung may init ang ulo.
Okay.
Yes.
Nakapagpa-BP na yung mga high blood, okay? But again,
Grabe.
Gamagori, Dad, sino ba yung mga teams na ilulook forward natin for Bracket D?
Right, for Bracket D, we will be having Potato Aim Esports Conquerors, ULE Main, Empyrean Reborn, AXP Vencier, Pee-wee, Lunares Mirai, LE Zenith, Mystic, AV The Order, The Red Giants, Shadowfall, Oblivion Villain, House of Immortal Quiloet, or HIQ, Aim Zims PH, Griffin Pride, and yes, Dad.
GTC Knights, 777, Team Botante, Raging Chaos Dominators, 4 Kings Main, Poison Ivy Achilles, and Blackfire Esports.
Wow.
This is a given stack.
Many familiar
Bracket.
names.
GG.
Guys, by the way, gusto ko lang sabihin
Fun fact,
na
fun
nandyan ang, fun fact, yung GDZ Knights ay supporters team namin.
Yes, supporters
Yes.
clan namin yan. We
Clan,
are so
yeah.
proud of them kasi nakapasok sila sa playoffs.
Mm-mm.
And
Woo!
hindi kami magiging bias, guys. Pero
Oo,
bias
hindi naman kami casters eh. Hindi naman kami casters, so
Oo, hindi kami, doon lang kami magwa-watch party lang kami sa inyo to support you guys.
Aha.
But, matitindi din yun nandito.
andito 4K.
4K main.
4K main. Oo.
Tsaka Poison
Wow.
Ivy, Achilles, mga nakakapasok dati talaga yan sa mga
Yes.
finals natin. So, medyo familiar.
Na-excite.
Pero malay nyo, may parang surprise moment na may makapasok na hindi pa nakakapasok before sa finals. Right, Gamma and
diba?
Dad?
I agree because right now it could be anyone's game.
Yes.
Because we are
Tama.
not yet starting our bracket D, but just knowing the name, knowing the team list, knowing the teams, knowing the clans, we might be able to expect some heavy action for this bracket D.
Yes.
And not to mention that your very own clan GDZ is right on the spot as well.
Yes.
So masusubukan sila, no? They will be able to handle this type of pressure. And also, just for everyone's information, that this tournament again is open for Philippines, Singapore, and Malaysia. And right now on this bracket D, we will be having here a team of team number 8. I think that's Mystic. So a special shout out to our peninsular players, Mystic Clan. So again, I'm happy. We are glad to have you here and see how well we will be able to perform against international players.
Yes! Medyo matindi ang
Let's
labanan
go.
pag merong kasaling mga taga ibang bansa. So, yan din talaga yung gusto natin. Hopefully, more players,
Yes.
more teams will join from Malaysia and Singapore sa
Singapore.
mga darating na in the future Community Gladiators Tournament. So, ginamit ko na din mag-promote, no? Guys, please join next time!
Yes,
More
join
teams.
next time.
Yes.
So, bracket F pa lang tayo. So, pwede pa tayo umabot ng bracket Z. The bracket Z.
Actually, Dad, for the qualifiers, we completed brackets A to Z.
Yes.
Oy,
First
Wow.
The
time.
whole alphabet.
Yes. So, kaya
Tapos-
medyo mahaba yung bracket natin ngayon.
Ready, casters?
But
It's
yes,
With that said, ladies, Sharlene and Dogsy, again, me and Dad will take it away because bracket D is about to start.
3, 2, and 1.
Alright, so kung sa tingin nyo po mainit na yung bracket si kanina, wait till we have bracket D and even more
Hoy,
stacked
GDC, galingan nyo!
group here. So I'm sure any of these squads who definitely want to make a name for themselves, eto na yung time para magpakitang gilas talaga as they are about to compete with some of the best, not just here in the Philippines, but even overseas. So this is
Yes.
going to be an interesting situation for all of these squads. Again, still the name of the game. One round battle royale tayo at isolated.
Mhm.
Placement is still the key. So it's really a matter of how smart can you play this. Really. I mean, we've seen so many strategies already
Welcome
so
to
far for
Battle
the first 3
Royale.
brackets. Pero
The match
I
is
guess
about
for
to
this
start.
bracket D, ano to eh, feeling ko ito yung mga aggressive talagang
Yes.
simula pa lang, babanat na.
And knowing that Folkeng's overload
Ay,
already
manonood
set
ako,
up
ah.
the momentum from
Manonood
bracket
ako
C,
ngayon.
and knowing that Folkeng's main will be playing on the bracket D. Now let's see if they will be pressured by the momentum carried by the overload, or they will do their own thing. And with that said,
Manonood
again,
ako.
ladies and gentlemen, this is your community gladiators, Fortitude Royale bracket D, and here we go.
And now bracket D is about to start this time. Coming in from the west side of our map. Going northeast tayo. Sorry, northwest rather. For our map. So medyo passing through Crash Site all the way up to
Let's go,
Hardcore.
GDZ!
Interesting setup here kasi this time, medyo middle ground tayo ng buong isolated map. So they can spread either up north or either down south. So the question is, how are they going to play this one out? And then of course, syempre kung saan medyo magpe-favor zone natin. Pero from the looks of it, medyo everyone's favoring military research football field again. And
Oo nga.
mukhang diretso pa rin yung iba sa even far as D-Town, I guess.
Shucks,
Medyo
walang
pupush.
bumaba sa
Sobrang
frigid.
kalat natin ngayon. Sobrang kalat natin. So, ibang
Walang
usapan na naman to.
GTC,
Grabe.
saan kayo bumaba?
Exactly. And knowing that the wild cards are, the chances of you getting the wild cards is better when you're trying to loot the boxes. May it be the green box, the white box, or the red box. And looks like the players are dropping in the spots where these boxes are much more prominent. With that side, we are watching our team number 8, your team Mystic, just looting up their place there, making sure that they're ready for the engagement, while AXP Bap able to open up the round, able to eliminate
Bilis!
third of the team BT with that RPD LMG. That's gonna be 2 kills already. Sean will be taken out as well by AXP
GG,
Bap
may
with
tawa
that
agad.
amazing RPD LMG with a lot of bullets on that mag.
And definitely, that's a good